Welcome back, everyone. It's time for more Partizan Belgrade. A slight apology is owed to every single one of you for the sort of slower uploads lately. Up until now, I've been managing to get a couple of episodes out a week. Recently, it's kind of dropped to one. Basically, I've been really busy. Upshot of that is I've actually kind of ran myself into the ground a bit and made myself quite unwell. So what that's meant is I've had time to play Football Manager, but I've just not really been able to get episodes recorded as much as I would like to. So we're coming back for today's episode for season 7, and believe it or not, we're actually in January and we've got our last 2 Champions League games to play. Believe it or not a huge amount of note has happened apart from a few bits of transfer business that we did around deadline day and a few bits that have happened already in January. So massive apologies in that regard, but we're ready. Let's go and finish the second half of the season really strong and see if we can get some Champions League success. Yes, welcome back everyone, and as mentioned, sorry about the reduction in both videos and how far ahead we are here with Partizan. So, let's just dive into the schedule because we've got so much to catch up on. In terms of when I last saw you, I think it was the Yavel Matis game, wasn't it, which we won 5-0. So we got our Champions League fixtures. Yeah, we did have a minor blip here actually, everyone, but that has swiftly rectified itself, as you can see, by a lot of green in the league. But it's the Champions League where we need to look at. So we drew Sociedad away. And if you look to the right, you'll see we had 3 goals, 2 from Alexic, 1 from Jovic. And from what I remember, it was very much a smash and grab, really. It was just ruthlessness from our point of view. Sociedad had far more in the way of chances. And, they just... Look at that, 24 shots, 3 on target, 9 shots in total, 4 on target for us, and 3 of those resulted in goals. And it was just a very emphatic, ruthless performance, really. This is a good team. They still got Ayathabal, Takafesa Kubo, Fabian Ruiz, Moises Casido, Alberto Morlera, Liberato Cacace. Lenormand is someone I've always thought has been a really good defender. He was terrible in this game. I don't know how he got a worse rating than Elistondo. But yeah, 3-0 that was. We then had Besiktas, who we have played before, and we had a draw against them last time we played them as well. And, oh man, this was just awful. We started so terribly. As you can see, we were 2-0 down inside 15 minutes. And then we managed to get it back to 2-1. And we're thinking, great, okay, here we go. Because we were on top of them, we were playing really well. And then they go and get another goal to make it 3-1 from nothing. Made a few changes, and thankfully we managed to get a 91st minute penalty from De Araujo to equalise. And I was thinking, well, you know what, 4 points from the first 2 games, it's not terrible. And then we went away to Porto, and I'm thinking, this is a game we could do something in. Porto are a good team, but we could definitely do something here. And when you look at the match stats, Andre Silva was unreal. He kept peeling off our last defender, even when we dropped the line a little bit, and he just seemed to just have this ruthlessness in front of goal. Every shot he had seemed to go in. And we were kind of very much like Sociedad in this game. 15 shots, 3 on target, one of them being Jovic's penalty. But they were just brutal. Like, they were absolutely ruthless. Like, I think when you look at the stats, it doesn't look like a classic 5-1 game. We actually had more shots in total than them. They were just far more ruthless than we were. They got 5 goals from an XG of 1.95, so they massively overperformed. And obviously, our penalty will account for like 0.78 XG. But yeah, really frustrating. We really could have won this game, or at least got a draw out of it. So to lose 5-1, I felt was really harsh and obviously really disappointing. Especially when we then played Liverpool and actually took the lead through Filip Ristic before Salah pulled us back, and then Diaz scored straight off half time, and then Ibrahima Konate scored a really weird headed corner goal. I don't know how it went in, but it went in and it did. We then played Feyenoord and drew 2-2. We had to come from behind twice in this. This was really frustrating. So the Jesus Hernandez goal, to me, is probably a match engine glitch, but it looked miles offside, but it was given. And the Ekelenkamp penalty was definitely not a penalty. It was one of those really annoying ones where the fullback makes the tackle, the ball goes in the opposite direction, in the direction he slid in. So it's obviously he's got the ball, but they still give the penalty. So yeah, it was very frustrating. And then we followed that up with a 3-1 win away to Karabag with Anwar El Ghazi of all players giving them the lead. Just to stick with the Champions League for now, what that means is we're currently in 19th. Believe it or not, we're ahead of Sevilla, Bayern Munich, Lazio, today's opponents, one of today's opponents in Ajax. In fact, both of today's opponents, we're playing Ajax and Bayern Munich today, both below us. Man United are in 26th, Benfica are in 28th, Chelsea are in 31st. So there's a lot of teams around us which are struggling. Anyone got any tips, by the way, on the real name fix? I've redone it for the new update, and it's still giving me Roma as Capitoline, and I think it's still got the Brazilian teams. There's all the three-letter names, which is really frustrating. But yeah, so it's been really disappointing, but we've got a lot to do, and getting a win today against Ajax will go a long, long way to doing that. Now, I did mention we did some transfers. The only real in we've got is we brought back Iñaki Angulo to the club from Dortmund. So we sold him, well, the board sold him for 19 million or something like that 2 seasons ago. He's not really done much at Dortmund to the point where he was listed for, or no, he was open to a transfer move and we were able to buy him for 9 million or something like that, which we did. He's currently unhappy because when he joined, he hadn't played much, so he wasn't very sharp, so you had to blood him in slowly. Obviously, Serbian foreign player rules complicate that. Basically, he was annoyed that he wasn't playing as much, so I said, that's fine, like, you're at a stage now. Obviously, I couldn't have this in-depth conversation with him, but he was like, well, I'm like, you're at a point now where I can start playing you more because you're fitter and everything. And he was like, no, you've broken too many promises to me and my teammates, so I want to leave. And I was like, well, you're not going anywhere, just suck it up and get on with it. We've also had that same issue with Pike Carragher as well, kicking off, and Paulo Vitor as well, even though they have all played. In terms of outgoings, we ended up selling Krasimir Vasilev. Ajax bid for him, and we bought him for 3.7 and we sold him for 3.5 up front, but it had potential to be 3.9. He hadn't really developed much. He had a few decent technicals in regards to passing, but the rest of his all-round game was terrible, and I couldn't really afford to carry him just for that passing ability. We then loaned out Mancia and Fuentes, and we've also just sold Marko Mihailovic to Burgos in Spain, I think. Basically with Abina coming in, already having Ragan, trying to bring through Balatovic and Fuentes out on loan. We didn't really see the need to keep Mihailovic anymore, so he left. And there is one other transfer out in the pipeline. Actually, two. Finley Burns is joining Forest as part of his loan deal, and we've also got this guy joining on a free from Red Star, just someone that we've been keeping an eye on since youth intakes, so we're going to bring him in for nothing. And a shocking one to some of you probably, Kenan Yildiz is on his way to Southampton once his work permit gets approved for 26 million, 15 mil up front, 26 million total. So don't get me wrong, he's a very good player, and I really like him. But he's getting a bit mouthy about not being able to play reliably, because obviously we can't play him necessarily week in, week out, because we've got Jovic, and obviously foreign player rules and rotation and everything like that kind of precludes being able to play him all the time. So when Southampton came in and we managed to negotiate them up to 26 million, a total package of 26 million, to profit 15 million on him for someone who I was never going to be able to play all the time. He was never going to be like a star player for us, just because it was going to be really, really difficult with the way our squad is at the moment. It just made sense to do it. And lastly, just to touch on the league, we've already qualified for the playoffs, which obviously you would expect us to do anyway, but to have that confirmed at this stage in the season. We've won 19, drawn 1, lost 1. We literally had a blip where we lost to Gorny Milanovac, who used to be our feeder club, our affiliate club. Completely one of those games which we just seem to have where we just can't get the ball in the back of the net. And then we drew the following game against Stancom 2-2. Since then, we've won everything, and our goal difference is plus 50 compared to the plus 20 of Red Star. As you can see, we're 11 points clear of Red Star in second, 13 points clear of Vojvodina in third, and 19 points clear of Stancom in fourth. So it looks on paper as it's going at the moment, if we carry on just not slipping up, we're going to end up with a third league title in a row. Just to touch finally on the schedule actually as well, you'll notice that we've had 2 friendlies very close together. This is because I always find with these 2 Champions League games, we come back after the winter break and the players, we invariably end up doing terribly because the players just aren't sharp. So I've hammered the friendlies as soon as we're able to. So we kind of come back, like, I think we come back to training sort of around Christmas time, but the earliest that I can arrange a friendly is here, the 12th of January. So yeah, I just hammered the 2 friendlies in just to try and get the squad up to fitness. And obviously this is on the Monday. I kind of messed up basically, so I know that this does work out because I prepped the Ajax game all ready to go, picked the team and everything while I was sat downstairs. And then I thought, I'll close Football Manager so that when I bring it upstairs and connect it to my monitor, it will automatically just port straight over to the monitor without me having to faff around changing the view to window to full screen to window to full screen just so I can move it across screen. Forgot that obviously because I was already in like the game mode setup basically, that it would just quit automatically and won't give me the option to save. So I'd already picked the team, set up the opposition instructions and everything, and was like, right, let me just come out of it so that then I can, when I've done the intro and everything, all this waffle, I can just go straight into the game. And yeah, it didn't work out, but I've seen that pretty much all the players are fit and ready to go. Right, everyone, so for the team against Ajax, and this is a massive game. We've really got to get a result here because I do not want to be having to go to Munich needing to win just to stay in the competition. I think we're going to go with Ristic, Jovic, Šreš and De Araujo with Šlivić and Paulo Vitor as the volante. Oh, no, we're not because he is not fit and ready. Angulo is not the happiest with us at the moment because of that game time. But I think I'm going to play him and just hope that it doesn't impact on his ability to perform too much. And then Milicic, Pajkariga and Hishek and Rogan in defence. So Hishek wanted a loan move to get some more game time, and he actually agreed to deal with Sevilla to go out on loan. And then it turns out we've got a loan limit of 6 players or something, I think, out. So he couldn't go. And then Liverpool started bidding for him. And I was like, is he actually as good as I think it is? I think because the problem is we signed 4 new centre-halves in the summer. We signed Jovic, Hishek, Pajkariga and Preda. They're all kind of like 3.5 star, and their attributes all kind of balance out. Like Hishek is probably the better ball playing player out of the 4. Kariga is, I think, the more physical, like more sort of physically commandeering. He's the tallest. And then you've got Preda, who's the quickest. I've probably announced his name up 4 different times, different ways already. Is like the quickest. And then you've got Jovic, who is kind of just like, yeah, again, like an all-round good defender. So on the face of it, they all kind of look similar, like when you just sort of scan through. So I'm like, well, maybe I should just start playing Hishek more, or Hishek, whatever his name is. Yeah, so he's going to play today alongside Pajkariga with Milicic on the left and Rogan on the right. I have sort of flirted again with another sort of like 2-striker tactic like this. We used it against Makvar Shabak and we won 6-2, but I'm not sure it's quite ready for Ajax yet. And I'm going to just drop the standard. I found the standard defensive line a little bit more secure than the high line for us in the Champions League. I feel like we get caught out too much otherwise. So we're going to be looking to try and keep some of these danger men quiet. Put a bit of a press on the defenders as well. Maybe not on Marino, actually, because he's probably potentially got a decent first touch. A bit slow, though. Yeah. I think we just go with that and we pray. So yeah, this is massive. Not only are Ajax below us, but obviously a win here is probably going to give us quite a decent bit of breathing room going into the final run of fixtures. So that, you know, when we go to Bayern Munich, even if we lose, which, let's face it, high chance we will do, it hopefully won't matter too much. But this Ajax team are going to be no pushovers. They've just hired Slaven Bilic as their manager, which seems a bit left field to me, but I don't know, maybe he's really good in this simulation at this stage. That was quite easy for him to push through them, but thankfully Lopez was equal to it. But yeah, I am finding this save a little bit frustrating. Like, I feel like we're sort of, at the moment, on course to win our 3rd league title in a row. And so hopefully domestically, you know, we're sort of turning that into a bit of a, you know, turning ourselves into the dominant team. But it's Europe, like, this season's just been a real random sort of bit of a bum tournament, really. Like, you know, obviously drawing with Besiktas and Feyenoord games that I felt we could have won, getting smashed by Porto, even though the scoreline... Oh, Ristic has scored. I think he's onside. I think, is it Alvaro Fernandez was playing him on at the left back. Yeah, it's been given. Lovely stuff. Lovely pass from Angulo. He does really well, seeming as it comes down onto his left-hand side to then hit it. He goes near post, and the keeper, I think, was probably expecting him to go opposite. It's been quite tough this season. I felt like when I saw the draw, I thought, okay, Munich, Liverpool are going to be tough. Sociedad might be tough. So we beat Sociedad. We thought Porto would obviously be tough as well, but I thought we could maybe get something there. And Ajax have pegged us back pretty much straight away through Diego Moreira. Overloading on that right hand side, and it's really poor defending from Milicic. He just gets completely done by him, so he needs to go and mark him tighter. So I've been finally catching up on Second Yellow Cards, Build a Nation series with MTK Budapest. For those who don't know, he is taking MTK Budapest from Hungary and trying to use them as like a platform to build Hungary as a nation into like the next sort of like top 5 league, basically. Flippin' heck. And one thing I have noticed that I think, to be fair, he does seem to be benefiting from, and I'm not saying this to sound like bitter or making excuses for myself, doesn't seem to have any foreign player rules. Like, he just seems to be able to sign players from anywhere and everywhere. Whereas whenever I sign someone, if they're not Serbian or haven't got Serbian as a nationality, I'm always like, oh, who's he going to come in for? Or who's he going to play over? Like, basically, if I'm signing someone foreign, I'm already kind of preempting the fact that I'm probably then going to have to sell someone else who's foreign because... Or I'm like, well, actually, do they improve on who I have who can, who's already, got a foreign nationality? And then I'm trying to loan players out or sell players that I don't want anymore to Serbian teams to try and help improve the quality of the league. Because Red Star and Stankom are really underperforming. They're in the Europa League. Stankom I can kind of understand to an extent. But Red Star are like really poor in the Europa League. Really, they're kind of like 27th or 24th or something last time I checked. Don't get me wrong, I'm not expecting, this is big. This is big. Urin Timber's just been sent off, and this gives us a great chance if we can take control of this game now. I'm not expecting them to come like top 8, but I would at least expect them to do better than they are, which has been really disappointing. But like Vojvodina and Stankom, trying to sort of break into like the top of the league, to sort of disrupt ourselves and Red Star, and I'm trying to just offer players out for basically just whatever you want to bid for them, whatever you want to offer me, out, just whatever. And they're not even like throwing in like a little, like a little cheeky 100k bid or whatever for anyone. They're just like they're not interested. And it's making it really difficult to build the quality of teams in the league because they're just not biting, basically. They're not showing any interest in buying any of my players. I think I might need to make some changes. Who else? De Araujo could do with coming off. Actually, we'll go with Maicon. So the league quality is just not really growing or developing, and Serbian football is not really progressing as I would want it to. Chance creation has been terrible in this game. Honestly, it's been awful. No, I don't want to praise them. I wanted to berate them. Cancel that. I can't remember what I was saying now. Yeah, so it's really difficult to actually develop the league because no one's really interested in taking the players that we don't want. Like Christian Mazzanti, or even like Pedro Alcalde, players who Alcalde's still on the books, he's just out on loan. But like he could have gone to any one of those teams if they wanted to, but I don't know if it's foreign player rules. I'm going to pause a sec. So we've adjusted the shape slightly. We pushed Angulo up into midfield as like just a CM on support, just to try and put an extra body in there, like midfield, which is where we've got the advantage. So we should really be able to use that to generate more chances, and it's not really happening. We're giving Alexic a bit more freedom. Delabasic has gone out to the left, and we've pushed Rogan up as like a wing back, and it's still not really doing anything. And if they win somehow, I'm going to be disgusted with this team. He's offside. He's miles offside. Surely. Hang on, it's saying... Yeah, thank you. I was like, it still says 2-1, but it says disallowed goal. Full time. I can't believe we've... Like, they dominated us, and that was shocking from us. One thing I did actually forget to mention, and it's also, like, a perfect example of the issues that I feel like we're having at the moment in this save. So Miodrag Kishnevich, you might remember, he came through in our youth intake quite a while ago, and we got a bid for him from PSG, and he was like, I want to make that move, you can't convince me to stay. I was like, right, okay. But I was like, but they need to offer us a decent enough bit of money for you. In the end, he actually ended up going to Milan for something like 5 mil up front, 9 mil in total or something. Which for a player who's just come through our youth intake, don't get me wrong, it's a great bit of money. It's like 9 million for free, basically. That happened in the summer. But the problem is when we look at the dev centre, so we've got Alexander Sevic, who is a 5-star rated forward. He's okay, but he's not, well, not 5-star rated. What's that, 3.5, potentially 4.5 star. And then we've got Strahinja Markovic. We have got Balatovic in our first team now, who came through the youth intake. Vukovic we signed, and then he had a bit of a falling out with us, and then he was like, actually, no, I want to stay. So he's just sort of chilling in the sort of B team. This guy is supposedly going to be good, but there's some good stats there, good attributes there, but I know he's only 16. But when, like, you're seeing like the likes of Stan Bender coming through at the age of like 19, and he was really, really good. And I just feel like Serbia, I always used to think, when I did this save, I was like, I always used to get great Serbian new gens by the age of like 17, 18. You could like walk into your first team almost. And it's just not happening at all on this save so far, which is the problem we've got when you've got, like, compared to other like people out there doing, like I said, I'm not saying that Stefan Ilkard's got it easy, because he hasn't. He's still doing an amazing job. He got Budapest to a Champions League final in like 5 seasons or something like that, beating Real Madrid and Liverpool. But it's just really difficult. It's really hard. I'm not being funny. It was really, really hard to try and really develop the league and the team to compete, because every sort of foreign player I sign, it then takes a place away from someone else, and then trying to balance that harmony is really difficult. Now we actually go into this game in a qualification place, believe it or not. We are 24th, so as it stands, we will go through. Let's face it, though, it's not going to stay like that. It's not going to stay like that. Like, it's impossible. Unless we get a draw, I think, is possibly our only way. But even then, it's still going to be up in the air, because other teams around us are possibly going to win. So, yeah, I have made a few changes to the possession tactic. We're not going positive, we're going to go cautious. We're playing more direct, we're playing narrow. Bayern Munich are kind of setting up in, they've still got Nagelsmann as manager, so it's the classic like 4-2-2-2. Is that enough twos? With the two sort of central like number 10s. We're going with a low defensive line, a mid block. We're playing narrow to basically to force those, like, I think it's Paul Vanna and I can't remember who their other number 10 is. Basically just to make it impossible for them to play through us. And they got Havertz and someone else up top, I can't remember. And we're not counter-pressing because I think they'll just ping it around us. But what we will probably actually do is just press pretty much all the time. Just press on them when we can. I think in some ways I would have maybe just gone like for like a 3 at the back, like a 5-3-2 or something like that. But I haven't got one ready. I used to have like a defensive tactic, and then I'd play like a defensive one, and then I'd still get mudded anyway. So I was just like, well, I might as well just stick and just try and play attacking. And it's like Rome, we were playing Vitor at number 10. He has played there a couple of times for us already. He is trying to learn the role, and his attributes lend itself so well because he's not a particularly defensive player, even though a lot of his positions are defensive, like inverted wing back, or like a number 6 or whatever. Because he can randomly play as a left attacking midfielder, and they got Stegen in goals. Oh wow. That's it. They still got Musiala, and then that's at Højlund up top. So, yeah, it's going to be really, really tough, this. So I'm just hoping that this tactic, which they've still got some familiarity with, even just with slightly different instructions, will work. But we'll just have to see. The only other thing I could do is I could play Vitor deeper, but I'd rather leave him. I could play him here. Maybe we do that, actually. He is getting further forward anyway, so he's basically going to hopefully push up in between Rice and De Jong anyway. How have we got our position instructions set up as I would want them? No, thank you, assistant. Do your job, man. We need to be marking the likes of Davies and Porro. No point pressing Upamecano or De Ligt, really, is there, let's be honest. And what we need here is the table. And we need to be focusing. So all we care about is us finishing in this spot here. If we can get some sort of smash and grab, we'll take it. And even a smash and grab 0-0 draw, if it's back to the wall, defence, whatever, we'll take it. In fact, we'll stick Rogan on. And yeah, we're distributing it to the flanks. We're asking the keeper to play it quickly out wide, because their width is coming from their fullbacks. And so, and Vanna's just smashed one in. So the width is going to come from their fullbacks. I'm hoping that we can exploit the space in behind with our wingers. Is he playing? He's not playing as a winger. He should be playing as that. Away. Good save from Lopez. Højlund is just, bit of an aerial monster. Come on. No. He's offside. He is miles offside. No way on hell is he onside. Might have been just fractionally. He's about 3 yards off. I'd have looked really stupid if that had been awarded then. Look at him. Oh, actually, it's really close. As it stands, we would be dropping out behind Mainz. Come on. Thank you, Ristic. No, not like that, though. They were so open at the counter. If he'd have just found that pass to De Araujo, he would have been in. Saved. He should have come to claim it, though. Let's be honest. Yes, Jovic, come on. No! That's terrible. You've got to do better with the ball. Got to do better with the ball. Oh, so we're up to 23rd now. And you know what? The only advantage to us actually coming in this bottom half is I think a lot of the teams in the... Defence, man! Oh, my word! Just stand around and let him just play. Oh, my God. Easiest tap-in ever is like Nice we could possibly beat. Porto. Flipping heck. Porto, I know they smashed us 5-1, but we did match them. It was not a 5-1 game. we could potentially do something against those teams, whereas we've got like United, Chelsea, Barca all in the bottom half. So as it stands, everyone, we've dropped out again. We've dropped out again. Let's face it, we're not going to get anything out of this. Not with defending like that. Why is everybody all the way over on the far side and just lets Rice just run in? What is going on? Honestly, like, I don't know what to do in some ways though, like with this save. Like, I don't know how to not fix it. But I do feel like that was lucky because everyone was terrible. I do feel like the Serbian youth intakes is, I'm not saying it's broken because that's just making excuses. But I do feel like it's just terrible. It's just awful, to be honest with you. We're just not getting anything good coming through at all. It's pretty woeful. And it's really frustrating as a result. It's making it very difficult to get... Like, the only player in this team who's come through my intakes is Balatovic and Jovic. Jovic and Alexic. They were already there. Everyone else I've had to buy in that you see here. And like, we're 7 seasons in now. I would have hoped to have had some more... I'd have hoped to have... Like, obviously, we had Vucic a lot last season. Granted. Like... Just abysmal, guys. Absolutely so bad. But I just would have hoped to have had a bit more to like go off from like just the country as a whole. And it's just... And like, just other teams just not sort of pulling their weight or... trying to like get better, like Vojvoda and Stankom and that just seemingly quite happy just to sort of muddle through in domestically and not really strive to improve themselves. Alexic gets us one back, on a continental stage. Like they're just like, they don't seem to be. I'm offering players out for like nothing, and they just don't bite. They're just like, no, like. They will walk into your team as they are. Like, why aren't you interested? It's Ajax, isn't it? I think who keep chopping us out. I might as well just attack. I've got nothing to lose. Just play for a bit of pride. Currently out. Currently going home. Like, no Champions League progression for us at the moment. And this is the same scoreline we lost to Bayern Munich last time. 4-1. But, it's like drawing to Ajax, drawing to Feyenoord, drawing to Besiktas. It just cost us. Like, 2 wins, is never going to be good. What are you doing? Take a touch and then you're one-on-one with the keeper. Why head it? Idiot. Absolute idiot. See, and then just giving the ball away. Awful. Yeah, so we did come 26th on 9 points, and that's the Champions League over. I am so disappointed. So disappointed. Like, that's just going to do us no favours at all in any way, shape or form. Just abysmal. And this season, for me, already kind of feels like it's a bit of a mess season now. Like, what's frustrating, if any one of those draws against Feyenoord, Ajax or Besiktas had have been a win, literally just 2 extra points would have got us into like 21st. Like, it's just not good enough. Look at that. Just no, really not happy at all. To be honest with you, everyone, if it's all right with you, what I'll probably do is I'll just play through the rest of the season and bring it back towards the end, or bring it back when we're on the verge of winning the league, which, to be honest with you, we should be doing. We're 11 points clear with 16 games left, and I really can't see us slipping up. Like, we look at Red Star, Crvena Zvezda. If we look at their competitions, so they've got 1 game left in the Europa League. They are currently 24th. We've got Stankom. Oh, we're actually up into 21st, to be fair. They've picked up a bit. But so at the moment, both of them are going through, but it could easily change if it doesn't go to plan in tomorrow night. Let's see what happens. So yeah, Red Star dropped out because they lost. They drew with Nantes. Red did Nantes come 14th, but Stancom do actually go through. They came 17th. To be fair to them, they beat Dnipro 2-1. So who've Stancom actually played? They've beaten Dnipro, Olympiakos, and Galatasaray. Who did Red Star manage to beat? Basel and Riga. And how does that help us in coefficient terms? Because obviously we're not doing anything to help with the coefficient anymore. So we're having a 6.6 season. We're going to be better than no one above us. So no better than Denmark. Yeah, no better than anyone above us. We're not going to make any ground on them. We're going to lose ground on those teams. We've got Austria and Belgium who are going to have a better season than us, but shouldn't be overtaking us. Even Bulgaria and Hungary are having better seasons than us. The only thing is that Stancom, beat Galatasaray, or Red Star beat Galatasaray. That might help us a little bit in the head-to-head with Turkey. But otherwise, it's pretty awful. Pretty awful. Like, that leaves us below Belgium, Switzerland, Greece, Bulgaria in the coefficient gains this season. So he's still going to be sat in 10th next season. So yeah, everyone, I'm going to sort of reevaluate it. Use the rest of this season, just to get the league. Try and do the double again. I think the league should be in the bag. In terms of in the cup, where are we? Who's left to play? We haven't got the quarter-final draw yet. But we've got Shabak through, Niš, Gat, Red Star, Radnički, Vojvodina, and Serdulica. So it's only Red Star, really, isn't it, who we need to worry about? And we've beaten them already this season. What score was it when we played them? 2-0, I think? 1-0. So, at least get that done. Just continue to grow the club's reputation. Build on the finances. Finances are looking really good at the moment. The club's in a really healthy place. But, I just need to... This is going to end up being a short season. This is probably going to be 3 episodes, 4 episodes, something like that. I'm sorry, but, I'll just be doing it for filler. Just bringing random games back for filler. Champions League is the meat and drink at the moment. That's where we need to be, really cutting it, showing ourselves. I need to look at tactics, I think. Or the players in this tactic. I'm just not sure. I'm really not sure. This has the potential to have legs. Just need the players to be a bit more familiar with it. This, obviously, is the old 4-3-3. Yeah. I'm not sure. Anyway, everyone, I will get cracking. I'll see you all very, very soon. Again, I'm sorry about the delay in the episode. Hopefully, things will start getting back to normal service soon. And take care, everyone. Thank you very much for watching. I do appreciate you sticking with me. And I'll see you soon. Bye for now.